Hi everyone, it's Roger here from What's On at Disney Plus, and I'm here with Melanie from the brand new Disney Channel original movie Under Wraps 2. Hello, Melanie.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. So, could you give us a bit of an introduction into what Under Wraps 2 is all about?
Sure. Under Wraps 2 is, it takes all of the things that we all loved about the first Under Wraps and basically just makes them bigger and might I say better. There are more mummies. There are big action sequences. There there are just so many amazing moments, and I think anyone who enjoyed Under Wraps is gonna be obsessed with this.
I gotta be. I really enjoyed the second one because it just felt a bit more freer. You kind of it just seemed much more fun, and obviously all the introductions and stuff were done.
Wait,
So,
you
were there
saw
any
it?
other? Yeah. I watched it this morning, so I'm all good,
Awesome.
all ready. So what was the difference in making the sequel to the first one?
Well, I would say coming in and already having that family vibe makes all the difference. Because usually, like your first few days or first few weeks on the job, you're just starting to get to know your castmates, the director. You have to build this rapport. Coming in and having already worked with these people and having already been a family, we just immediately got to work. And it was just such a fun family vibe.
And I mean, your screen time was massively different in the second movie because you basically almost became like the guardian of the three. So how did that feel, kind of becoming such a major part of the film?
Oh gosh, amazing. Um, as you know, like in the first movie, Buzzy was sort of like an outside force guide. Like she appeared here and there and sort of guided the kids from the outside looking in. And this time she's very much like in on the adventure, there with the kids, pretty much through the whole thing. So, I mean, it, I'm thrilled to be there, and it was so much fun to make.
Yeah. So was there any extra pressure on you, obviously, with now being such a major part of the film?
You would think, but it felt like I mentioned before, like, it's such a welcoming family vibe on set that I was nervous going in, but once I got there and once we started filming and working, it felt so good, it felt so right, so the nerves sort of melted away.
Cool. And I'm gonna ask you, what would you've ordered on the pizza from that from the in room? Because I mean, they're ordering so many pizzas. I just gotta ask, what would be your pick?
So many pizzas. I am controversially a pineapple on pizza girly, so, yeah, it would have to be pineapple, and extra cheese.
Yeah,
The
nothing
more
wrong
cheese,
with an.
the
I
better.
mean, I love an Hawaiian pizza myself, so I'm definitely in that group. So what was kind of the best part of filming the second film?
The best part, there are so many good parts. There's this sequence, which I don't wanna give too much away, but there's this a big, sequence that uses chocolate, and that day, it was crazy. A huge cauldron of chocolate tips over, and you'll see in the movie, but it was just the most fun day because literally all day we were just basically like swimming in chocolate, and it was edible. So it was kind of just a dream for me personally to just have a full day of chocolate being thrown at our faces.
Okay, and then counter argument. What was the worst thing about the second film?
A hard question. Honestly, probably not to be cheesy, but probably the last day. It was very sad. You know, we've all now worked together for a few years, and I remember just the last day of filming, emotions were high. You know, we are always like trying to run to the finish line. So we were trying to get in a lot on that last day, and we were all just really sad that it was ending.
So was there any like difference in like obviously like with the pandemic and stuff? But did this one was it easier to film the second one or the first one?
As far as the pandemic goes, it was easier to film the second one just because we didn't have to quarantine for 14 days before. We still fully had to be tested every day. Like the protocols were still intense, which is a good thing. But just the fact that we didn't have to go sit in a hotel room for 14 days before definitely made it a bit easier.
That's cool. And would you like to return to kind of complete a trilogy with a third film?
Oh my gosh. It would be a dream. It would be a dream. Um, we're all crossing our fingers that we get to do one more, but you never know.
Yeah, because one of the things I liked about this one, because it was like I said, with the second one, you kind of seemed of like not being a sort of a remake. You kind of were able to kind of tell a new story, and I think that definitely for me it made it much more interesting. And there was some different elements to it. I mean, gotta say, like with Rockport, that place looked really stunning. Was that a great place to film?
Oh my gosh, it was so cool. It was our first week of filming, and we went to Victoria, which is an island off of Vancouver. Um, it was beautiful. It was freezing, but it was beautiful and it was so cool. They totally transformed the town into this, as you saw, into this
Yeah.
like Halloween fantasy. It was so cool.
And at the D23 Expo, we got to see a big presentation at Fun Disney, and Under Wraps 2 was a big part of that. Did you get to see the actual show?
I wasn't there in person, sadly, had other commitments, but I saw the live stream and was freaking out. Did you see the mummies?
Yes, I was lucky enough. I flew out to be at the event, so I got to see all the mummies dancing and got to see
Oh
all the cast and stuff. So it was that kind of thing of like, I don't know where they all came out. God, it's like I really enjoyed the first movie. It's like one of those things. I think they were such a big show with all the mummies dancing around. I just thought it was great to see the movie kind of getting that main attention on the stage.
that's so cool that you were there. That's awesome. Yeah, it was so cool.
And also kind of as our kind of final question, really, of which is your favorite Disney Plus original that you've seen so far?
My favorite Disney Plus. Okay, the first thing that comes to mind is just ignoring your question, basically. But I'm just gonna go with my instinct, and it has not come out yet. But I have a countdown on my phone, and it's easy because it's also the same day that Under Wraps 2 comes out on Disney Plus. Countdown on my phone for Hocus Pocus, the sequel. I'm so excited for Hocus Pocus 2.
Yeah.
But as far as things that have already come out, what have I watched recently? I've been like catching up on all the Marvel movies that are now on there,
Yeah.
so that's been really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, wait, what's the one with Elizabeth Olsen?
WandaVision.
WandaVision. And
Yeah.
I mean, I've been talking about that for years now, but that's like probably still my favorite Disney Plus original.
No,
So
it's cool. And obviously, as you said, on September the 30th, we're going to be getting not just Under Wraps 2, we'll be getting Hocus Pocus 2. So there's going to be lots of Halloween stuff. I was going to say, just is it kind of quite a nice feeling, like knowing like you've kind of booked in like 2 Halloweens now from the Disney Channel?
yeah, it's a dream come true. I love Halloween. I love the Disney Channel. Yeah, it's amazing.
I just want to say thank you so much for taking time out to speak to me today. And as I said, Under Wraps 2 arrives on the Disney Channel on the 25th of September, and it'll be arriving on Disney Plus a little bit later on the 30th. So thank you so much, and go check it out.
Of course. Thank you, Roger.
Thank you very much for watching this video. Make sure you go check us out over at whatsondisneyplus.com. Like, follow, and subscribe. Also, a huge thank you to all of our supporters over on Patreon and also on our YouTube channel memberships. And I shall see you guys in another video. Laters.